Are you over it yet? Are you over it?
A tad.
Are you over it? A tad.
A new place, a new home, for a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
A little bit different today, so we couldn't bring you our normal travel videos this week because we've been so busy with the car after the fiasco, what happened on Monday night. So if you haven't seen that video, we're going to put the link just above here so you can see what happened. But never in our wildest dreams did we ever think that what happened on Monday night would happen.
No, because we are so pedantic about where we park our car at Caravan, and it's never under trees.
Yep.
Anyway, we've been through all this already in the video, so...
I know, exactly. So no point going over it again.
Nah, we're done going over it.
But one step closer to insanity, I reckon.
Yep.
Yep.
We seriously, this year has been the crappiest year of our entire travels.
Yep.
From just stuff that went on earlier on in the year, getting organised back on the road again. Okay, we're on our way. What else? Something else came up and we had to stop. I can't remember what it was after the caravan.
Oh, you know, we had lots of stuff.
And then the car, swapping of the car changes.
Then we had to go home because we had a family member who was sick. And
we had a family member diagnosed with bowel cancer.
Yeah.
So we had to leg it home.
Mm-hmm. So
finally got back on our feet.
Yeah, so we've basically been. I think we've stopped more than we've actually travelled this year.
Yeah, we honestly feel like we've just stopped, kept getting stopped.
Yeah.
And
just with the whole situation with the car, we've stopped again.
Yeah.
But
just it's always just when we really feel like we're back on a roll and we're just doing what we want to do, and then bam.
Yeah.
So
one step closer. So, and you know what? These things that we've experienced, I think everyone who travels full time experiences.
Oh yeah, everyone experiences it. It just sucks.
Yeah. I don't think the videos on YouTube really show the reality of full-time travelling in a caravan, because there's some there are some disadvantages, aren't there?
Oh, there's a lot.
Living in a 21-foot box is with
and prior to that it was a lot smaller. It was a 19-foot box.
Yeah.
And having those few extra feet, it's nice, but you still have the same stuff you've got to deal with. And that, on top of all the dilemmas that have happened for us this year, has just been a real kick in the guts.
Yep.
So.
And whenever these sorts of things happen, we always stop and we say, do we really want to keep travelling? Always.
I know. I think it is, honestly, when things happen, it's just like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
And then we're like,
well, we don't have a home.
This is our home. We are home.
So go home where exactly? Because
we don't have one.
We don't have a home on the Sunshine Coast.
No. We probably wouldn't go back to the sunny coast, I don't think, anyway. I think it's too busy now. That's why before we hit the road and we sold up, we had every intention of not buying back into the market there, knowing that we probably wouldn't be able to, but we actually don't want to go back there because it's just too busy. Too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with all the dramas and all the dilemmas, you know, there's lots of tears and tantrums, and I want a divorce, and
again,
it's okay, let's get married again.
But I think there are a couple of things I think that keep us doing what we're doing, and I think they vary between us. But I think
we've got different reasons. I think definitely.
So I guess for me, I love seeing new things, and I love being with my family and all that sort of stuff. And that's just a given. If you didn't love doing that, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing.
No.
There is no way you could be in a 21-foot box, I think, and with 3 people who you just didn't get along with.
Yeah, there's no way you could do it.
But I think for me, I think there are 2 reasons why I keep doing what I'm doing. And the first thing is I love to create. You know, I love creating the videos for you guys. I love taking photos and editing photos. And being given this opportunity is something that I really enjoy. And the other thing is I like to build things as well. So building this channel has been something that I really, really enjoyed. I do enjoy the challenge of building the channel. And
also you should be proud of it because yesterday marked 16, we hit the 16,000 subscribers yesterday.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that was so exciting because we just
Yeah.
sort of didn't really realise. And like every time you reach that, you know, that another 1,000 milestone, we look at each other, and I was saying only this morning that at the end of the day, we've done that ourselves, and we don't have connections. We don't have any people outside of us that can promote our channels or anything like that. It's just us, and we just did it for fun.
And there's nothing special about us. So we don't have a big uni-mog rig, and we don't generally go off-road. And
people do look at our rig and think, you know, it's a bit fancy. And we did think that when we first got this, when we upgraded from our smaller rig, but we only did it because we wanted the extra room, and we'd chosen to continue doing what we're doing and going, okay, let's do this and let's get something bigger.
And we can only do this because we don't have a house, so we don't have to pay rent, we don't have to pay electricity fees, we don't have to pay water bills, we haven't got all the bills that normally are associated with a house that's stationary.
That's right. So that does help us.
This is our home. So it comes with all the baggage of having a mobile home, like trees falling on the ram.
Yes.
When you don't expect it. When it's not windy, it just falls and then wipes out your car.
So don't be fooled. If it's not windy, trees still fall.
They do.
Branches still fall.
Now I understand why they're called widow makers.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway,
we
know not even if we're pulling into a caravan park, we will be ringing your head down saying, make sure the spot's not under a tree.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're going to think we're a bit silly, but
yeah.
After what we've been through this week, I'm sorry, but we'll be definitely making that as one of the requirements now that we don't park trees anywhere.
And there's lots of things that we find challenging. I mean, we haven't really been in a caravan park so far in Tasmania. This is the first caravan park we've been in. We're only going to stay here for
We have been in caravan park.
Other than Devonport. Old Max Farm doesn't count.
Yeah, that wasn't really like a caravan park, was it?
But the first night we get here, we only meant to be here for 4 nights, and last night Justine was kept up all night because of neighbours who were literally like 2 feet away from us.
If they crossed my path again.
Whatever they were doing. What exactly were they doing?
I don't even know. They were doing bloody acrobats till 2 o'clock in the morning. They were in a motorhome, and kids are still awake, and oh my God, I tell you, I thought to myself, well, maybe they're on a time difference and they're still awake where they come from. I don't know, but then I checked all that this morning and thought, no, that's not that much of a time difference.
Well, one step closer to insanity.
That's why I'm so tired. I'm like so tired.
Every morning I wake up and I sort of roll the dice and I think, what are we going to get this morning? And this morning it was, what keeps you going, my dear?
You keep me going.
No, besides me.
Even though you annoy the crap out of me.
But seriously, what are the things that keep you going? Because any normal person, I think, who've been through what we've been through in the past year would probably seriously consider, okay, I've just had enough.
Well, considering we've considered that a number of times.
So what is it that you really enjoy?
I think just constantly exploring and finding new places. I think for me the most exciting times is where I have a place that I really, really, really want to go to, and we get in the car and I know that morning we're going to arrive at that place, and we get there and it's just like, oh my God, we're here. It's that feeling of planning to be somewhere and you're finally there, and you've seen so many other people there and you're actually there now. So I think I just love going. I just like to keep traveling, keep moving, keep meeting people, and meeting people is probably a big thing for me. Like, I love a good chat to people and hearing others' stories and, you know, how they got to where they are. And I love listening to what people have to say and where they're from and the reasons why they're on the road, or whether it's just a holiday. I think it's more of I don't know, I feel a lot freer. It forces me to get out there and do stuff. It forces me to take more risks and do more, whereas I was probably a little bit more reserved and too scared to take the step to do things. And I think it's important for Riley and to show the kids that, do you know what, it's okay, just get out there and go and explore and do things. And I don't know, I think my confidence has grown a lot since hitting the road.
And Riley's learning a lot on the road too. Riley's learning things that I'm so pleased he's learning, and we're going to talk more about that in a future episode. But he's got some really great things he's got planned moving into next year. He's moving into year 7 next year, so it's important for us to know that he is working towards something that, like a real life skill that he can use possibly, you know, when he ends up leaving school in 7 years' time. So travelling with 2 dogs, another step closer to insanity. We've got...
Okay, so I'll be honest.
I know.
If I knew how hard it was going to be having a puppy in the caravan, I personally wouldn't recommend it unless you have, I don't know, a really strong emotional mentality. I'm very emotional, so it was very difficult when you've had no sleep. It's just like having a newborn baby, I guess, again, but it's just different because
But then she's settling down now, and she's really starting to get used to life, and she's actually getting a really I don't want to say this too loud. But she's getting a really lovely personality.
So like you can say it. You love her.
No, I didn't say that.
You do.
She's getting a really beautiful personality, and it's actually quite nice to have her around. And Ahsoka's
she's getting past that stage of the puppy.
Ahsoka's just like a Labrador, and she just sort of sloths around.
She doesn't do. She just sleeps.
Millie's like a firecracker, but
like I was saying, she's like a firecracker.
Together, they're actually a good mix.
But she's got a really, really beautiful, gentle personality. Like, she's just the most beautiful, loving dog, and I think that's where it's made it. I don't know. That's where it's calmed it down a bit.
But after all that,
it's been a tough year.
After illness, family illness, after family dramas, after repairs, after getting puppies, and after issues with the caravan, and all this sort of stuff, after all that,
new cars,
we have to start thinking, why the heck are we doing this? Like, why are we? Because any normal person would just say, okay, I'm done, and I'm going to go back and get a normal job. But I think for me, getting a normal job is going to be a challenge for me.
That's the reason that we really got out.
For us, all we really wanted was to be free.
You know, we've come pretty close to calling it quits. Like, this is probably the closest we've come to calling it quits.
Tuesday, I think we were done.
Yeah, Tuesday we were just done.
Travelling to Hobart and
we felt beaten, completely beaten.
Yeah.
We were just like, we're done. We can't take it anymore. We're just,
So we haven't got a time frame right now because we need to figure out when the car's going to get repaired.
Yeah, so we're kind of in limbo a bit because we do need to make that decision when we find out. I think my gut's telling me we'll probably end up being back on the mainland.
I think we'll probably have to end up heading back to Queensland to get the car repaired. That's just my gut.
Doesn't excite us that much because we really don't want to go back again.
It's all going to come down to when the parts arrive.
Yeah.
And I think we might find it'll be cheaper for us to get it repaired back there. Okay, advice to people who are still considering living on the road full time.
Or to those people thinking about throwing in the towel.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that's really what this is about.
So we have seen sights that I have only dreamed of. Riley has seen more of Australia, I think, than 95% of other kids his own age. They are
They're memories
invaluable.
You can't,
aren't they?
You can't fake those feelings and those memories. So if you have those thoughts processed and you're having a crap week or like a crap year, I think go back over where you started from, and you know, we've got photos up on the van, on the walls and stuff, and that really actually helps to, like, Riley was looking at the wall yesterday and going, oh, where was that? Where was that? And that was here. And like, I look at the photos and go, you know what? This is why we're doing it. And for the amount of, you know, really crappy times that we have had this year, I look at the photos that we've got, because we've got them above our bed, and I look at them and go, I can look at it and feel that emotion, and I can remember laughing, and I can remember whatever it is that's in that photo. I go, oh my God, it takes me back to that photo, and I can remember every second of it. So
and I think, and if we were working the standard 5-day week job and, you know, 48 weeks of the year, we never would have experienced those things. And unless you've experienced it, it's very hard to explain, isn't it?
Yeah, and I wouldn't remember half the things I'd done that year because I was just working the majority of it.
So if you have a sense of adventure, and if you're willing to give up the idea of travelling being all chocolates and roses,
it's Tim's new phrase,
which it is at times, but at other times it's not. If you want to get out there and really give yourself an education, no matter what age you are, then definitely consider it, because
Just don't throw the towel in too soon.
But I tell you, if you're thinking of it, if you're thinking of doing it, if you're okay with the unexpected, because the unexpected will happen. And it will happen, and there will be things that will happen that will draw you home, that will make you want to stop, and that's happened all this year, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But if you just keep going, we really believe that, well, for us anyway, you'll experience things that you'll live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And you will. It'll be worth it. I mean, and you grow together as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine to have a big cry and be like, why me? And, spend 5 minutes moaning and groaning and crying and yelling and screaming or whatever, and then get rid of it and then just move on.
My only wish, if I had one wish, it would be, I wish I'd done it earlier. I wish I'd done it, and I wish I could have shared it with more of my family. That would be my only wish. It's not a regret, because it just wasn't meant to be, but I wish that had happened. I tell you what, the people that you meet, the people that we've met from this occurrence earlier on in the week, have been people who we will never ever forget. Hey.
No.
Yeah.
We honestly just, I can't even. I mean, that's probably another thing that helped me personally move through this whole not wanting to throw the towel in, because I'm like, you know what, even though there was this pretty crappy night and this is what happened, what we've gained, believe it or not, from that tree falling, that massive branch falling on the tree, what we've gained from that is so much more than the dents in the car. And I look at it and think, okay, well, you know what, it's almost worth it, because we've just met some really amazing people that we probably would not have even met, because they weren't even like next to us. They were down the other end of the caravan park, places, like where you don't actually walk to, and all these people come to your aid. So it's like we've actually made lifelong friends from this, like anyone does from kind of disasters. And
the community, the YouTube community, who've sent us private messages, and the Instagram community and the Facebook community, it's just been overwhelming, hasn't it? It's been really terrific. So
it's like you guys are our family.
And that's why, and that's another reason why we keep going, because we don't want to let you down.
It's the people too, but it's not necessarily that. I mean, originally we weren't doing, well, we still really aren't. We aren't really just doing this for you guys. We're doing it for us, and we're sharing what we do with you guys. But what you give back to us is just motivation, and it pushes us to keep going. We're meeting up with a family at the end of the year who are also traveling here just on holidays, who we met on our very first week, wasn't it? When we hit the road, and they were just on holidays 2 doors up from us, and then and Riley just sort of got along with their son and daughter, and we have been connected ever since. So we've seen them a couple of times in between us travelling north and south of Queensland, and we're going to catch up with them. Just we've got like a 2-day period in Hobart where we cross over, and we'll be able to catch up with them. Yeah.
So no regrets, even though it does drive us mad. I think there's no regrets. I think the memories that we've made, the things we've experienced, we'll never forget. And the great thing about YouTube is that we have got a permanent library of our travels for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
And for the rest of Riley's life. I mean, how amazing is it going to be for Riley to look on all these videos when he's 50, 60 years old, and look at himself and the things that he's done when he was this age.
He's a very lucky boy.
So, look, if you're thinking of doing it, our recommendation is don't hesitate, just do it.
But make a plan. I have to say, it is, I know it's easy to say just do it.
Yeah.
But I think make a plan that suits you and your family and your budget, because everyone is different. We didn't just have this. Like, we've worked hard to get here. We've stepped up, and we've got a bigger van and a bigger car. But we started with the BT50 and the Jayco, and I still miss that rig.
Yeah,
I do
too.
Because I really loved that rig.
Yeah.
We only got rid of it because we just needed to have some more room,
more space
with the 2 dogs. It was just a bit tight for us for what we do. Yeah. But anyway, if you're throwing in the towel, just think about why you started, because that's what's pushing us to actually keep going.
Yeah. Go
back to the beginning.
Yeah. So next week we're back to our normal travel videos.
Yes.
So we've got Bay of Fires next week, which I think is going to be amazing. We've got so much footage of that, we may even have to do it over 2 weeks.
I know, because it's a bit ridiculous.
We'll just sort of see how we go. We've had
We have
we had 2 GoPros, an Insta360, a drone. We had all this footage going all the time because it was just absolutely stunning.
We just had such good weather for the whole week we were there that you get out there and you're like, oh, we've got to go do this, we've got to do that. But
we haven't even started editing the video yet.
We may do...
we'll see how we go.
2 parts maybe, but we'll see how we go just because it's so beautiful.
And with the drone and me, just because it was brand new, I just kept using it. So
I know.
It was in the air practically every minute of the day.
Every day it was up, I think.
But anyway, we'll start going through that and get it off to you next week. So even though we're one step closer to insanity, we've still got probably like 1,000 more to go, I reckon. Maybe 100.
1,000? Are you kidding?
Maybe 100.
Who are you?
Well, look, we've got a few things we've still got to sort out, but we'll get there.
Honestly, like we're saying, I think for the next week or so, we're going to be getting closer and there'll be many, many more steps taken to insanity because we are now having to just starting the process through insurance, repairers, time frames, whether we have to move bookings or move the boat if we're going to stay here.
I think the idea of just being stationary for 4 weeks at the moment is driving us batty. Whether it's here or
because it'll be in an
back
area
in Queensland or whatever, it's just going to be, gosh, that's just awful.
So yeah, it does drive you mad.
So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do then, or else, because not travelling, I think would end up creating more insanity than travelling.
And I think that's where we had to toss it up, going, well, are we going to go insane if we keep travelling, or if we go home? What's worse? And we thought, well, if we stop travelling and find a base, that could actually make us go mad. Even more so. And that's another reason why we thought, okay, let's just see where the next couple of weeks is going to take us.
All right, my dear, I can see your neighbours have left next door.
We've got new neighbours.
Yep, so the people who kept Justine up till 2 o'clock in the morning have exited the building.
I think I scared them this morning. So
I think she did. Justine went out there and started banging the walls and slamming doors.
You did so. I was giving you an example on our caravan going still like here all night.
Anyway, this is the joys of living in a caravan park.
Oh, sorry, I woke the dogs up. Hey, that was me. There's no one there. Really? Come here.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
On that, here we go. On that note.
You want to come on down Mummy's lap? Yes, I go. Yeah.
Don't worry, Soka.
I won't. Soka's going to go back to sleep.
Anyway, on that note, I got to get this edited and up online. So.
Yep.
We'll see you next week, and.
No more disasters.
Yeah, no
hopefully.
more. No more parking under trees. We're done.
No, we're done. Yep. First and last time ever.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
'Cause I found my way.